Today's share is ches for Akiva Simcha Ben Fega, for Zevi Hogan, for Chav Bas Mim, Hov Bas Mim, and Davidar Ben Pnei Peril. Also, Lili Nishmas, your grandfather, Pinchas Ben Avim Yaakov, whose Yortzeit is today. His grandmother passed away. Baruch Danemes, and Shalom Shav and Aliyah. So, Tonu Rabbanon, we're starting midway down. Chav Ches Amud Aleph. Okay. Also, Yisrael Nishma.
Zuli, anyone you want to add? Zuli.
Shmoinim Talmidim Hoyoloi Lehil Azakin. Hil Azakin had 80 Talmidim. Shloshim Mehen Rin Shetish Lehem Shechina K'Moshe Rabbeinu. 30 of them were on such a high level that they were right to have the Shechina rest on them, just like Moshe Rabbeinu. Ushloshim Mehem Ruim Shetam Lehem Chama K'Yeshua Benon. And 30 of them were right to have those suns stop, just like Yeshua Benon had the sun stop. Asim Beinim, and there were 20 in between. Gadol Shabakula Yinus Ben Azil. The greatest from all of them was Yinus Ben Azil. Katan Shabakula Rabbi Yochanan Ben Zakkai. The smallest of all of them was Rabbi Yochanan Ben Zakkai, who, like we said, was Reb Eliezer's Rebbe. Amru Alav Rabbi Yochanan Ben Zakkai. We said on Rabbi Yochanan Ben Zakkai, Shelo Yaniach Mikra uMishnah Talmud Halachos VaAgudos Dikdukei Torah Dikdukei Seifrim. That he did not leave unlearned. Chav Ches Amud Aleph. He did not leave unlearned all these things. Mikra, which is the Torah, Mishnah, Talmud Halachos, Agodos. Dikdukei Torah, it's the dikduk of letters, the Dikdukei Seifrim and the Rabbanans, Kalam v'Chamurim, Kal v'Chomers, Gzeir Shavuos, Tkufois, astronomy, v'Gematrios, and Gematrios, Sichas Malchei Sharas, and also these were languages that he knew, Sichas Malchei Sharas, V'Sichas Shedim, V'Sichas the Kolam, all sorts of languages. It says actually on one of them, I think it's with the Sichas Shedim, I saw someplace it's to know how to write kemeyas and certain things that would be able to have shlita on them. Mashalis Kufsin, launderers, parables of launderers, Mashalis Shualim, and parables of foxes, Davar Gadol, Davar Katan, small things and big things, Davar Gadol Mas Merkava, Davar Gadol is Mas Merkava, Davar Katan, Havayis Dabai Virava, Davar Katan is Havayis Dabai Virava, Likayim Mashanemar. So now we're going back to what we said originally about Hill having these 80 Talmidim. It's been Mikayim, what it says, Lahanchel Havayesh, to give and set aside for those who love my Torah, V'Toriseim, Amale, and I'll fill their warehouses. And now we're talking about the greatness of Rabbi Yochanan Ben Zakkai. He's so great. Gadol Shabakulon, Alachas Kama V'Kama, the biggest of all them, how much greater he was. Amru Alav. So now we're saying one pointer on Rabbi Yonasan Ben Uzziel, on Yonasan Ben Uzziel, Amru Alav on Yonasan Ben Uzziel, B'Shal Sheyesh V'Vaisek Torah, a time when he was sitting and learning Torah. Called Oif Sheperechalav Miyad Nisaf. Any bird that was flying above him was immediately burnt. So I heard two interesting pointers on this. Number one, we said last week when we were talking about it, Rashi says that what? Why were they burnt? Because the Malachei Sharis were right above him and would burn within 4 amas, whatever it was, it would burn them because of the power of Torah. Now, what about, there's a Taisus that says differently. Taisus says on top, what doesn't mean that they were all burnt, that it was so powerful, as if he was so clear in his learning, that it was as if it was given over by Moshe Rabbeinu by Har Sinai. That's how clear it was. It was as if Moshe Rabbeinu, it was the same that Moshe Rabbeinu gave over the Torah. That's how clear it was, and then it was given with fire. So too, his Torah had fire. And it adds a little part, it adds a little interesting story. It adds, that what? They were sitting by a meal, and they were learning the whole Torah, and there was a fire, a tremendous fire. And what happened was the host, who was making a bris on his son, came out and told him, "Well, you guys are burning my house. You're burning my house." So I said, "No. This fire doesn't burn. This fire is not going to destroy. It's the fire of Torah." They said, "We learned from the beginning of the Torah Kula. They learned together then." So he was so impressed. He said, "You know what? This son of mine, I'm going to give over to Torah." And that son was Elisha ben Avuya, who ended up becoming Acher, and he became a Tana, and then went off the derech due to going to the Pardes. And later on, he did tshuva at the very last moment, according to many. Okay. Anyways, so now we're starting the new Gemara. We're starting from the Mishnah. Zog the Mishnah. Just before we learn, the Mishnah is really going to bring out 2 points. Number one, it's a machlokes between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel on if someone is Rosh Ruba in the sukkah and the table is in the house, if that's okay or not. Why would it be a problem? It would be a problem because if your table is in the house and you want to get something from the other side of the table to eat, you're going to go inside and take a bite inside and eat inside, so that's a problem. Beis Hillel says he's not worried, Beis Shammai says he is. And the second machlokes in it will be on it would be talking about if a katan and nashim are avadim ketanim are pturim min sukkah. And we're going to see that Beis Shammai sort of has a differentiator by he himself, meaning he has a grandson, and he kept that he was chayiv, even though everybody agrees that he's not chayiv. Okay. Someone who his head and most of his body was in the sukkah, and his table was in the house. Beis Shammai says apostle, and Beis Hillel says it's okay. So Beis Shammai, they tell the Talmidim Beis Shammai, wasn't there a story like this? It's his name. That the Talmidim of both Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel went to meet this Rabbi Yochanan ben Charanis. They went to meet him. That what? He was sitting exactly like we said, and what? And you guys didn't say anything to him. So we have a story of a scenario where this case happened, and you didn't say anything. So why are you saying that it's possible? Questions on Beis Shammai. Beis Hillel, people are asking Beis Shammai. So they come back and they answer, like what? You really bring a raya from there? Everyone agreed and told him, that if this is the way you were noig all your life, then you were never mekayim the mitzvah of sukkah. Nashim avadim uktanim. P'tur min sukkah. This is the second part that it says nashim avadim uktanim apart from the sukkah. Now, just a question for everybody. If let's say this I saw in Rabbi Yitzchak Zilber saying as a sefer, he has a bunch of questions, interesting questions. If you have a sukkah that fits only two people, so it's you, either your wife or your son, who's a katan, but he's already for chinuch. So now you're going into the sukkah at night. You have to sleep there. So who else should sleep there? Should your wife or the son? The son.
The wife. The woman doesn't have any chiyuv.
Okay, very good, very good. The woman doesn't have chiyuv. Why? Very good. But why? But why would the wife be if that were the reason?
Because she's an adult.
Because Simchas Yom Tov, very. He's pretty much right. He really has correct. That's all correct. Everyone has good pshatim. Yes,
what's
correct.
the actual answer?
Teishu.
Wife?
I'm gonna get to it.
You can't leave
The answer is the wife.
Oh, okay.
Why is the answer the wife? He says the answer to the wife is because the mitzvah is on the man. The woman, like you said, does not have the mitzvah sukkah. However, the man has teishu kein taduru. That the way you live all year, that's how you should live during Yom Tov. So for him, how does he live all year? He's with his wife in the house. So his wife should be there with him. His son, the mitzvah chinuch is a derabanan. And that could be done later, so this is more important.
With his wife and kids.
What do you mean? He
eats himself when he comes home from work. His wife and kids
Cotton shein etzarech lima, a cotton that doesn't need his mother. Chayav b'sukkah is chayav in sukkah. Ma'isa v'yod kolosei shel Shammai hazaken. There's a story that the daughter-in-law of Shammai gave birth. Upiches Shammai aziva, and he made an opening in the roof, so that and he v'sikech hagabe hamita b'shval cotton. And he puts chach on top of the bed for the cotton. So we see everyone's masking. Nashim, avadim, miktanim, apart from the sukkah. However, comes Shammai, and he says, no, I'm going to open it up for my son. This we're going to see in the Gemara later on, why he acted this way. At some point, but he's a brand new baby. What are you talking about? She just had a baby. There's no some point. Brand new. He's a newborn.
Before the story.
But we're talking about this is the story. We're talking Kasha Famasa. Okay, quick chazara. So he says like this, the new Mishnah. Someone who had his head and his body was in the sukkah, and his table was in the house. Beis Shammai says apostle, and Beis Hillel says it's kosher. So the Talmidim Beis Hillel told the Beis Shammai, so wasn't there a story just like this? That we all went to meet Abi Mevakar Rabbi Yochanan ben Charanis, that what? We saw that he was sitting and the table in the house, exactly like this case. And no one told him anything. So you see that it should be good. From there you're really going to bring raya. Even they told him, meaning they're saying that everyone was masking that it was a problem. And everyone told him this coming statement, even Beis Hillel. If this is how you're noig, you are never mekayim mitzvah sukkah all your days. Nashim v'avadim ktanim p'tur min sukkah. Nashim avadim ktanim are part from the sukkah. This is the next part of the Mishnah. Katan shein tzarich l'moy. Now a katan who does not need his mother, chayv b'sukkah is chayv in the sukkah. Ma'asiv yodel kalasev shel Shammai hazakin upichis esem hazeva. There was a story that the kalasev Shammai zakin opened up. The kalasev Shammai zakin had a baby, and he opened up the ceiling. V'sikach al gabi amita b'shvil katan. He puts chach on top of the bed because of the katan, showing that he doesn't perhaps agree with what he was saying. We're going to see later on regarding this. Another very quick, interesting point. Rabbi Yonasan ben Aziel and Beis Shammai one time had there was a situation, meaning there's somebody who had he didn't want to give over his Yerusha to his kids, and his kids were not noig properly, so he wanted to go give it to a tzaddik. So he went to the nearby town. He found Rabbi Yonasan ben Aziel there, and he tells him, "I'm giving you all my money, B'chayev, I'm giving it all over to you." So he takes it, and what does he do? So he does a third. He sold to keep for himself. A third of the property he gave to Hektish, he gave to Tzedakah. And then a third he gave back to that man's children. So Shammai heard about it. Shammai Zok, and he comes and tells him, "What are you doing? You have to give it back to him. If this is the case, you have to take it back from the kids. You can't let them have it. Because the father obviously gave it to you because he didn't want his kids to have it. You're going and giving it to them." So he answered him, "If you could reverse the sale that I sold the third and the hektish that I gave, then I'll collect that third from the kids." So Shammai says, he says, you beat me. And basically told him that he overpowered him. So it's not an interesting story. Rabbi said also a reminder, Wednesday night, we're going to put a poll in the chat. If everyone could join the Retiva Seder by Lutsk, it's 8:45 till 9:40. It's 8:45 till 9:45. There's going to be hot food served, and it's something good to have a chabur there. A lot of people from all Kim and Sechtas will be there. Rabbi said, have a wonderful night.